What up, guys? It's Damone here, and today we're going to talk about the carnivore diet. And I'm going to piss some people off today, but that's okay. Um, so, yeah, we're going to talk about my opinion of the carnivore diet and why I don't recommend it for anybody at any time. Um, so, but before we do that, guys, a little bit about me. I am a vegan. I've done a lot of like long stints of eating raw vegan. I don't right now, but I always eat a lot of raw food. For that living electric energy, you got to get that in. So um, yeah, I've been vegan for about 10 years now. I am turning 40 this year. I forget that that's the case, but I'm turning 40 this year, and yeah, y'all can see like I think I look very healthy. I think I know I feel very healthy. I know I feel great. I know I can keep up with my kids. Um, and so, I think living proof that this is a healthy way to do things. So hopefully I can inspire some of you guys. But anyway, let's get into this. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to work with me, my email will be in the description below. Hit me up if you want to work with me. If you want to ask me some things or whatever, we can set up a free call and make some things happen. So okay, so let's get into it. So hopefully this is a new microphone, so hopefully this is working. Um, but we'll see. So okay, carnivore diet. Why I don't recommend it. Number one, everything you're eating is dead. Okay, I just talked about living food. We're living organisms. And if what we're eating is dead food, like if everything that we're eating is dead, then that's not going to be giving us the most life force energy. Now we eat for energy. We eat whenever we eat food, our bodies turn that. Yo, stop throwing stuff around. Whenever we eat food, our bodies turn what we eat into energy, right? So we're looking to get the best bang for our buck. Whenever we eat, we want to get as much energy as we possibly can for the least amount of energy that we have to spend digesting, because digestion takes energy too, right? So keep that in mind. Okay, so what contains the most energy? Is it going to be living food or is it going to be dead food? Of course, the obvious answer is it's going to be living food. It's not going to be dead food. So I believe in eating a lot of living food for everybody. Now, I'm not saying that I think everybody needs to be vegan. Um, I would like to see people lean in that direction for the ethics, for the ethic reason, for the because of compassion. I'd like to see everybody, say, you know, these other living beings don't have to die in the countries where we're at a place where we can support this. Some people um, in their different societies, nobody that's watching this though, but some people are unable to do that, at this specific time. But they're not watching this video. The people watching this video could all do it. So I definitely encourage people to at least open up to eating a more plant-based way. Um, but guys, listen. Sometimes I just go. I have like different trains of thought that I get on. So you guys got to steer me back in the right direction. But yeah, so the the carnivore diet, man, it's dead food. Okay, no good. Eating all that dead food, no good. Eating, also eating all of that murdered flesh, right? All of those animals that are killed. When you eat something, if you believe in energy, I believe what Nikola Tesla said. He said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So I believe that everything is energy vibrating at a specific frequency. And if you understand that whenever you take the life of something unnecessarily, that is not the highest form of energy. And that animal, is feeling whatever it's feeling in the moment of death. Adrenaline is being released and pumped through the system, and there's fear, and pain, and I don't know how the animal's been raised, if it's been loved. Certainly in killing it is not loving it. Um, but you're taking that in whenever you eat that, right? So not only are you eating dead food, but you're taking in this energy of violence, right? You can't take an animal's life without violence. You have to be violent to take an animal's life. So if you don't have to do that, for me, it's a no-brainer. Why are you going to do that if you don't have to do that? So yeah, that being said, let's get to the next reason. So that's a few reasons. That's like three reasons right there, guys. But the next reason is the health, right? When we look at the studies, when we look at the actual science, okay, it's pretty clear. Eating a very predominantly plant-based diet is going to be number one. That's going to be the healthiest thing that you can do. And you know what I mean? I'm not the only example. There's a lot of people besides me that are in their 40s and their 50s and their 60s and their 70s and their 80s and their 90s that are doing really well, that are thriving, that are not, sick, not sickly, not weak, not tired, have great um, cognitive abilities and so on and so forth. So, don't be scared of a vegan diet and don't believe the BS that they tell you that it's not good for you and all this nonsense. That's just simply not true. It's that what they do is they take and they flip things and tell you the complete opposite of what's true, right? So they take and they say, the studies show that eating a lot of saturated fat and cholesterol is no good, and they tell you they promote a diet of eating saturated fat and cholesterol and promote that as the primary health source in our diets is saturated fat and cholesterol, which is not what the actual studies show, right? They don't show that. They don't like the facts don't lead us to believe that eating, you know, a predominantly fatty animal-based diet is going to be healthy. Now, I'm not here to argue and say if everybody that eats a high diet and saturated fat and animal products and so on is going to die. That's not what I'm trying to say, guys. I'm just saying simply if you look at the actual scientific studies, if you look at the truth, it's pretty easy. I hope you guys can hear me because my mic is over there, but it's pretty easy to tell. Like you can see very easily that that is not the way to do it. That's not the healthiest way to do things. And of course, there's people who can do it that get away with it, but it's not the healthiest way to do things. And then beyond that, eating a plant-centered diet looks to be associated with longevity across the board. It's like the more fruits and vegetables you eat, the better, the healthier. Um, so that's what the science shows. Again, I'm not the science guy. There are channels out there dedicated to showing the science and citing the studies and giving you links to them and everything. And I can, if you want to look into that, just drop a comment and I will direct you to those channels. Okay, but that's not what I do right here. So yeah. So that being said, guys, it's just not according to the studies. It's not a healthy way to eat. Okay, and you know if you're eating a bunch of dead food, how do you not feel dead? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you have a bunch of energy? Like, I know for me, I have so much energy. Like, I can, like, my energy is crazy. I can run people over. Like, it's just, I have a lot of energy, right? And I'm calm. I'm a calm person, but I have a lot of energy. And, you know, if you're eating a diet that's not causing you to feel like you have a lot of energy, it's definitely not a good diet. Of course, part of that has to do with calories. You have to eat enough calories, but a lot of it is nutrients. And plants have so many different nutrients in them. I know different meats have some different nutrients in them, but there's so many more in plants. And so I want to encourage everybody with this to eat as many plants as possible. Eat as many plants as you can possibly eat, and um, make some of them raw. Eat some of them raw. Like you're eating fruit, eat it raw. I mean, if you love cooked whatever, like broccoli, and you're gonna eat broccoli if it's cooked, but you're not gonna eat it if it's raw. Cook the broccoli. Cook it lightly, steam it. You know, Um, but eat your fruits, eat your vegetables. Don't let anybody scare you away from it. It's always been the foundation of health, no matter what you're eating. You know what I mean? It's fruits and vegetables. That's always going to be number one. And I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I just want you guys to see me as an example and hear what I'm saying. You know what I mean? If you guys can just hear what I'm saying, just think about it and maybe incorporate a little bit more of that. Maybe you've been hearing this carnivore propaganda, and it is propaganda because it doesn't go with what we see. It's not true. It's bullshit, right? So that makes it propaganda. Okay. So people are out here acting like, oh, this is the healthiest way to do it. This is how people have been doing it for X amount of time. Well, there's a lot to say about that. I'm not going to go into that because it's a whole other video, and it's already getting long. But listen, guys, there's so much more I could say about this. I kind of rambled a little bit. I hope you guys are okay with that. And also, let's continue in the comments. Drop your thoughts on the carnivore diet. Drop your thoughts on a vegan diet. Um, but don't be ignorant and unwilling to learn. If you're ignorant, be willing to ask questions. Don't make assumptions that you heard some dumb nigga say on, on Instagram, on a YouTube channel. Like, we have to first and foremost look at the science. Okay, if we're just say, oh, all science is BS, you know what I mean? Then I don't want to talk to you. So if you guys want to talk about it, then let's talk about it, but let's do it intelligently, and let's not be stupid. You know what I mean? If you're insulting me, I'm not gonna respond. Uh, because we disagree on diet is no reason to start insulting each other. That is literally like you're a child. I'm not gonna engage in that. But if you guys want to have a conversation where we can maybe learn from each other, then let's do it. Um, I've been in this game for a minute. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of research. I've had a lot of experience with different ways of eating over long periods of time, and this doesn't just come from out of my ass. This comes from experience number one, and then the science and experience of hundreds of thousands of people over years that I would co-sign. I would second that. So yeah. That being said, guys, let me know if you want me to make another video on this. What else could I talk about it? About it. I don't know what's up with that, but and what do you guys want to add to what I said? I mean, what do you guys have to add? I want to know what y'all think too. All right. Anyway, I've been rambling long enough, so I'm out. See you on the next one.